I'm about to give you the secret sauce to enjoying every season of your life. The beautiful thing about life is honestly, you are the main character. You get to decide where the plot goes, where it turns, where it stops, where it ends. You are the main character. You're in charge of your life. Nobody is coming to save you. I used to think that romanticizing your life meant having a perfect morning routine, neutral beige aesthetic in your apartment or your house, and having the perfect coffee or matcha in hand. While don't get me wrong, I love all of those things, and I do believe that is a form of romanticizing your life. I found that there is a deeper way to romanticize your life, even the parts that you don't feel truly confident about. Let me save you some time. It is more than that. It's about how you view life. The way that you see your life changes everything. It's not necessarily about how your life looks or even how you look, it's how you feel. I was constantly chasing perfection. I needed to have the perfect minimal aesthetic. That is just an excuse to not get started living your life now. Once I stopped chasing perfection and started enjoying my life for what it is today, that's when things started to change. So today's video, I'm gonna show you how to romanticize your life no matter where you're currently at and no matter how you feel about your life at the moment. Even if you think your life is boring, or even if you think your apartment is messy or your life is a mess, no matter what you tell yourself, starting today, you're gonna romanticize your life moving forward. But first, hello, hi besties, welcome back if you're returning, and if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Krizia, and I'm on a mission to helping you level up your life from the inside and out. So if that sounds like you, then hit the subscribe button and make sure to like this video too if you enjoyed it. Now let's get back to the video. As a girly who loves girly things, I'm in the beauty industry. I love makeup, I love hair, I love a good candle, I love a silky robe. Those are all things that I will continue to love. I've also understood that there is a much deeper way to build a self-care routine to romanticize and live your life. So first, I want you to get it out of your head. Stop feeling guilty. Stop comparing yourself to someone else that you see on social media who's curating a perfect life. We're all putting our best foot forward. No one on this planet is living a perfect life. Remove the guilt, remove the shame. Everyone is dealing with something you know nothing about. Even the people who live the most aesthetically pleasing lives online. The real quickest way to level up your life is to make even the boring parts, the mundane, the simple things feel really romanticized, feel like a movie. Romanticizing your life is a mindset. It's not what's in front of you. It's not the type of coffee mug you have. It's none of those things, okay? That just adds for great content on romanticizing your life. You could truly just wake up tomorrow and decide to romanticize your life. The sun is out. If it's not out, the wind is blowing. You can find any little thing, and this kind of ties back into gratitude and why I believe having gratitude is the best frequency, especially if you're wanting to manifest a better life, a better anything. Gratitude is the frequency that will get you there. Just being grateful in general will help you live a more fulfilling life, even when it doesn't feel perfect, even when it's messy. There were so many times where I felt like my life was chaotic. That hasn't really changed. My life still feels chaotic when I think about it, but the only key difference is I've romanticized the journey. I am enjoying my life to the fullest, even on the days where I'm crashing out and having a mental breakdown. At the end of it, I'm like, wow, this is part of it too. And I romanticized even that because, hey, even a movie has good times, bad times, sad times. You know what I'm saying. So picture your life as a movie. This is a great way to really just make the best out of every situation too. If you're going through something shitty, something that sucks, like a breakup, or you need to move out of your house, or you live with your parents, right? I know that there's going to be so many different things out there that you're going through that could easily get in the way of you telling yourself that you cannot romanticize your life. You're like, what is romantic about living with my parents right now? Let's romanticize the fact that you don't have to pay rent and you can actually go work at a cafe. If you want to feel the magic, you have to be a little delulu. You have to stay with me here, okay? It starts off as really delulu, but then eventually you start to realize that it's actually the whole game all along. If you can make boring moments or even shitty moments feel romanticized, and by romanticize, I mean you're like pulling out the best out of it. I'm not talking about toxic positivity, but you're just like embracing it. You're not fighting it. You're flowing regardless, right? If you can do that, imagine when you have the beautiful blessings in your life that you're aspiring to have. Imagine when you get that dream car, that dream house, the dream relationship, the dream anything. You will amplify that magical feeling like 1 million times more. That's how you start manifesting, is you start appreciating where you're at now, even if it's really annoying. The beautiful thing about life is honestly, you are the main character. You are the main character. You get to decide where the plot goes, where it turns, where it stops, where it ends. You are the main character. So remember that you're in charge of your life. Nobody is coming to save you. So start reframing your mindset to believing you deserve to live a happy life. No one was put on this earth to live a miserable life. Let me tell you that much. People who are living a miserable life, it's a choice. It is a choice. Don't let anyone lie to you or fool you. It is always a choice. There is always a way out of the situation that you're in, and it all starts up here. It starts in your mind. It is the most powerful place to change the outside world. One little tip that I have for you, if you're struggling to get started on romanticizing your life, start by naming the era that you're in. I know some people will think this is silly, but this has helped me too. If you are feeling like you're finally learning about femininity and learning how to be soft, give it a name. Say, I'm in my soft girl era. And you don't have to announce it to the world. I mean, you can if you want to, but say it to yourself. It kind of shapes every decision that you make, every little thing that you do, because you're constantly thinking that in the back of your mind, where you remind yourself, I'm in my soft girl era. So I'm gonna order this cute pink matcha, strawberry matcha, instead of my regular matcha. And even just that moment in itself is romanticizing life, because you're giving your life a theme. You're making it fun. You're looking for little moments of magic. I've done this so many times, and honestly, like, that is a true story for me, because growing up in a hyper independent women family, I felt like I had to really do a lot of inner work to embrace my femininity and my feminine energy, because I genuinely feel like my feminine energy was wounded, and that's a whole other topic. I told myself that I was in my soft girl era, and I would find any little way to make that apply into my life. And also, it's not just on the materialistic surface level way. Like, those are just some examples. Another example on a deeper, more emotional level would be, I'm choosing to respond to something that would normally get me all ruffled up and want to respond with anger or bitterness. And I'm going to take the high road this time, because I'm in my soft girl era. This is, again, true story for me, because I used to be so snappy. I had to defend myself. I had to make sure people know that I was not weak. Obviously, I've done a lot of inner work now, and I don't feel that being soft is weak. I actually think it's really powerful. I would tell myself in these situations where I would feel triggered to be more angry or to be more masculine, I guess, if you will. And I would tell myself, I'm in my soft girl era, so I'm not gonna respond the way that I normally would. I'm just gonna hold my power and move on. So those are other examples of how you can start applying this theme into your life to romanticize your life. Another example is you could tell yourself, I'm in my healing era. If you just got out of a relationship, or if you just got out of a toxic friendship, or maybe you're healing from old childhood wounds, tell yourself you're in a healing era. I went through this phase too, when I was grieving many losses in my family, including my dog, who was truly like my best friend my entire life. And I was in my healing era. Everything that I did was more gentle for myself. I'm not gonna overwork myself because I'm in my healing era right now. I'm gonna read more books. I'm gonna go outside for walks more. I'm gonna do less planning because I'm in my healing era. So you kind of get the idea here. Give yourself a theme that matches where you're currently at in your life, and this will make everything feel so much easier, and also just so much more weight lifted off of your shoulders. When you understand that you're in this theme of life, you're not going to pressure yourself to do anything outside of that, because you've already decided in your mind that you're in a healing era. By the way, if you made it to this point in the video, comment down below what era you're currently in so we can see where you're all at. Okay, my next tip for romanticizing your life is you do need structure, okay? You don't need the most perfect, aesthetically pleasing morning routine, but you do need a morning routine. Morning routines for me, it doesn't have to be like this super rigid, like, oh my gosh, I have to do 10 things every morning or else I'm failing. Just have your non-negotiables. So my non-negotiables in a morning routine are journaling, no TV or phone first thing in the morning, at least up until I have breakfast, and go for a little mini walk when I get up as soon as possible. I want you to think about what are your non-negotiables so you can start applying them to your morning routine. And you can then, once you get like the basics down, you can start having more fun with it. For example, my non-negotiables are going for a little walk. I can, every now and then I'll add in a walk to a cute little coffee shop nearby and get myself a matcha instead of making it at home. So those are other ways that you can kind of like, you know, add your own little spin to it, but start off very simple with basics to make it easy to follow, easy to repeat it, and do it for at least a whole month. And then from there, you can start fine-tuning it and adding other little things along the way. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big too. You can start small. You can start with little things like drinking a lemon water in the morning or doing some light stretches. You don't have to do a full-blown workout, but just some kind of body movement. It can also be as simple as choosing to go for a walk without your phone. Start having your non-negotiables. This is going to help you also build that self-trust and respect for yourself. It will also make other people respect you in your time too, because you'll just start to carry yourself a different way. And then your nighttime routine. So your evening routine, again, super important. My non-negotiables for my evening routine are no shows, TV, anything like that, or phone, at least an hour before bed. So once I'm done with my last thing of the evening, which I try not to go past 11 p.m., I tell myself that I won't pick up my phone anymore unless it's like to turn off my lights because it's connected through my app, or no emails, no social media, no scrolling. I don't mind a show every now and then. I'm not really like a big TV person to begin with, so it's a lot easier for me to make that my non-negotiable. But another non-negotiable is gratitude journaling before I go to bed or while I'm in bed. So in my nighttime practice, which I've talked about this because I love this journal, the 5-minute journal, I'll leave it linked below. It's great for your morning and night routine. And then in the evening, it's going to be 3 things that went well, and then what did I learn? So very simple 5-minute practice. Maybe you do some nighttime yoga before bed, or you go for a little night walk. Once you start to have your routines, you can really, again, start to romanticize it. You know, maybe you can think about your manifestations as you go for a night walk. Okay, another thing that I've started to do, especially as someone who works from home and works for themselves, I really have to romanticize my work too, because I mean, my work is pretty fun. I get to create for a living. So that in itself is already fun, but there are some not so fun parts about it, like responding to emails or pitching myself or dealing with invoices or dealing with taxes. There are a lot of other parts that aren't as fun and glamorous. So I have to find ways to make my entire work feel romanticized too. And also, you know, if you work from home, you know the struggle of sometimes you get really distracted when you work from home. So I love to go out for a little coffee shop and get some work done, even if it's just like a power hour or 2. It really helps reframe my mindset when I do get home and I can continue the tasks that I started. So find what works for you there, but romanticizing your work life, even if you have a corporate job or if you work somewhere, you know, it's really important to try to romanticize some aspect of it. Like when I worked at a customer service job, which many of you will know, customer service jobs are the probably complete opposite of glamorous in any way. But I would romanticize my breaks, my lunch. I would bring a book and I would read on my breaks. I would have alone time on my lunch and I would just listen to something that I enjoyed. So, you know, you can romanticize no matter where you're at, but it's really going to be like your way of bringing yourself home and finding those little moments of joy, or creating those moments, I should say, even though you might have a stressful job or even though you might not like what you're doing at the moment for work. Also, learn to celebrate your wins. You know, if you have a task that you completed that was really challenging, like celebrate those wins. Find little moments of joy to be proud of yourself. That's another way that I romanticize life, is if I respond to an intimidating email and I get it done earlier in the day, I love to celebrate any little moment because, hey, a win's a win, right? You can even romanticize your errands. Going grocery shopping is actually really fun to me. And another way that I make it even more fun is I love to always be a little bit glammed up. You know, you don't have to do a full beat, a full makeup look, but I love to at least make sure that my hair is done, or I at least brush my hair. I put a little bit of lip balm and maybe a little bit of blush on. Then I feel like my own main character in the movie, like going to Trader Joe's, and maybe I'll pick up some flowers for myself for the house, you know, something like that. There's so many ways to romanticize even the most simple tasks like grocery shopping. I can't tell you how many times I've been in like a rut, and the moment that I decide to go to a new cute cafe, I feel way more productive, and then it just turns my whole mood around, and the rest of the week I'm just like on a different level of productivity. So don't underestimate the power of romanticizing even your work. The other part to this is learning to romanticize your growth. Like on a personal growth level, not everything is going to feel cute. Not everything is going to feel like a celebration. There's going to be times where it sucks, and when you feel like you're plateauing or you're frustrated, maybe you don't have creative ideas right now, whatever it is, like you're dealing with something that didn't go as planned, you can still romanticize those moments of personal growth. When you start to see even the downsides of your journey as character development, it really helps romanticize your life still, because you know that this is all happening for a reason, and out of this you're going to become a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of you. So you learn to appreciate even the toughest times. And I know it's really hard when you're in the moment and you're like, this really sucks, and you can't find that moment. You can kind of reframe your mindset and remind yourself, this is all part of the journey. This is all part of my story. This is part of the plot, I like to tell myself. Just like a good movie, there's always that turning point in the plot. Setting boundaries will make you feel even more like the main character as you stick to your boundaries. Okay, so all in all, I just want to close this out by saying romanticizing your life isn't about escaping reality. It's not about living in La La Land and being extra delulu to the point where you're not self-aware. It's basically just deciding that your life is worth living for. Your days are worth enjoying. Your moments are worth celebrating. And you don't need a new partner. You don't need a new city to travel to. You don't need all these things like an aesthetic apartment to romanticize your life. It's in the small daily habits and in your mindset that can really romanticize your life. And in that, you end up attracting better relationships, better environment, a better apartment anyways. Like you start embodying that energy of manifesting a better life anyway. So it's really a win-win situation. If you're ready to start romanticizing your life, then comment down below romanticizing life, so I know that you made it to the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to share this with somebody who may need to hear this too. I love you so much, and I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.